As much as I love sharing the latest and greatest new road bikes here on the channel, I know that many of us don't actually need to buy a new road bike at all, or can afford one given the high prices that are increasingly common. But the truth is, you don't need to buy a new road bike to enjoy cycling. In fact, buying a used second-hand road bike can often be a better option for a number of reasons. So, in this video, I'm going to share some reasons why I think buying a used bike might actually be a smart thing to do this year. So I'm David, you're watching Just Ride Bikes. Let's dive in. Firstly, buying a used bike is often more affordable than buying a brand new one. I know that's fairly obvious, but worth stating. We all know how damn expensive new bikes are, but you can save loads of money, and I'm talking thousands of dollars and pounds by going second hand. With a bit of research, you can find a high quality used bike that meets your needs and, more importantly, budget. I've been looking on eBay recently and there are loads of good choices from the big brands from as little as £500 with some real gems to be had. Secondly, buying a used road bike can give you more options. And what I mean is you can buy a bike that 5 years ago was state of the art, but sadly isn't being made anymore. So a carbon frame with a mechanical shifting group set and rim brakes, a fine example of a road bike and a sort that sadly isn't made anymore. And that alone is a very good reason to go down a used market approach rather than buying a brand new bike, especially if you don't believe in the supposed benefits of electronic gears and disc brakes and aero carbon frames. Thirdly, buying a used road bike can give you more room to customise and personalise your ride. You might need to spend a bit more money upgrading worn out parts, the chain, drivetrain and stuff like that. Or with the money saved by not buying a new bike, you can choose the parts you really want on your new bike or your new second-hand bike. So whether it's flash wheels, your favourite tyres, saddle, handlebar, whatever it is, you can get the bike dialed, customised and personalised just the way you like it, which is something you can't do with a brand new off-the-shelf bike. What you see is what you get. Very few manufacturers offer any customisation of the parts and components on that bike, unless you go down the very expensive bespoke custom route that is. The fourth reason is that old bikes are often lighter than new bikes. Now, I know weight isn't everything, but for lots of people, it clearly is. And there is no denying that older bikes are often a lot lighter. You can easily get a 6 or 7 kilo carbon race bike with a mid-level group set like Shimano or Tegra that'll be several kilos lighter than anything made today. While you might lose out on the benefits like aerodynamics, wide tire clearance, internal K routing, for many people, that lower weight is a reason to buy a used second-hand bike over anything being made today. A word of warning on buying a used second-hand road bike: it's worth factoring some money to service the bike as well, either yourself or by a professional bike mechanic. Unlike cars, there's no service history with a bike, so the mileage and how much a bike has been ridden is unknown. And often you'll see that ads say the bike's had very few miles in dry weather only, which is something we can all take with a pinch of salt. Thankfully, bicycles are fairly simple machines and there isn't really much to go wrong. And either yourself or a well-trained eye can give a bike a close inspection and make sure there's no kind of hidden horror stories in that bike once you get it home from buying it off the seller. Things to look out for with a used bike include the drivetrain. And a simple tool can tell you how much life is left in the chain, tell you how much the chain has worn out, and whether the chain is worn and needs replacing, and whether the cassette and the chain set need replacing as well. Hopefully you'll get lucky and the chain will still have some life in it and you can replace it before it wears out the rest of the drivetrain as well. You can tell by the shape of the teeth on the chain set and the cassette from how pointy or rounded they are, whether they're worn or whether they've still got life left in them. Other thing to look out for, and worth spending a bit of money to breathe some new life into a second-hand used bike, are tyres and the bar tape. bar tape and tyres are two areas you can upgrade, spend a bit of money, personalise the bike and breathe some fresh life into it. Another really good reason for buying a used bike over a brand new bike is for the environment. By buying a bike that's already been made and produced, you're contributing to a more sustainable cycling culture. And you're also keeping another bike on the road and saving it from the tip or being recycled. And giving a second lease of life, being enjoyed and loved all over again. So, as you can see, there are many good reasons why you don't actually need to buy a brand new road bike. And with a bit of patience and research, you can find a nice used road bike that's just as good as a new one, if not better. Right, I'm off to try and find myself a nice second-hand road bike for a future video. But if you do want to see a video on the best new road bikes in 2023, then watch a video right up here. Definitely worth a watch. Some real gems in there as well. And feel free to leave a comment down below and let me know whether you're planning to buy a used bike rather than a brand new bike in 2023. Love to hear from you as always.